Welcome back to the 411 Podcasting Network. I am your host, Larry Csonka, and this is episode 68 of the 411 on Wrestling Podcast. You can follow us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, the 411mania.com website, and any major podcasting platform. Please make sure to subscribe to our show, share us around on social media, and if you have time, leave us a 5-star review on the podcasting platform of your choosing. Joining me tonight, back from his weekend off, my regular co-host, Stephen Cook Jr. III. Stephen, how are you tonight?
Oh, hey. I had a nice little weekend off. As far as weekend off, I slept through part of the Royal Rumble. Through part of the show. I caught it later eventually, of course, and I thought it was a pretty good show. To be honest with you.
Good show overall. I enjoyed the Rumble. Better than I thought, I think, going in overall. I think they did a lot of things right. And we'll talk a little bit about that. We do have, we're going to start off before we do our weekly reviews. We got a little news roundup to take care of, Steve. And There's a lot of stuff going on in the world of wrestling, as always. The first thing we need to talk about, Andrade busted for a wellness suspension. Violation of the WWE wellness policy, suspended for 30 days. First of all, I think the thing to discuss is they found out about this, depending on who you believe, late Sunday, early Monday. He has a match with Humberto Carrillo on Raw. He beats him clean, and then they do an angle to quote-unquote write him out, Steve Cook. Was this bullshit?
Tells you something, right? Doesn't it tell you? We want to punish him. We don't want to punish him that much because, he might be a little connected to somebody. Let's be honest. They don't want to punish him too much because he connects Charlotte Flair, right? Yeah, I mean, they wanted to stick to him a little bit, but not too much because he's connected to Charlotte. I mean, it's one of those deals. One of those deals where somebody should be punished, but they're not punished that much. It was a bunch of bullshit, Larry Csonka. I'm not gonna lie. Not great. Not a good piece of business. And it looks really bad if you're Humberto Carrillo. If you're supposed to be this guy that they're going to give a big push to, you can't even beat the guy for title when he's getting pushed out on steroids or cocaine or whatever the fuck it was. Bad look. Bad look, am I right?
Yeah, I think it's complete bullshit. Like, the word going around is that, WWE felt it was too soon to put the belt on Carrillo. And here's my point.
Okay.
Here's my fucking point. I don't care if that's the case. If your plan is to eventually put the title on him, and the dude with the title breaks your own fucking company rules, you take the title off of him.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, too. It's I don't care that they did an angle where they can write him out, and everybody's like, whoa, it's he's only out for 30 days. Oh, great, what are they going to do? Put it on the fucking Saudi show, and then Humberto wins when nobody's fucking watching that bullshit?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not, and, you got Paul Heyman booking coming. It's not like the first time that Paul Heyman had tried to switch out somebody that was suspended for some kind of reason or another. It's not like it's the first time Paul Heyman had to take time off somebody for doing some drugs or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He's done that before. He's seen that situation before. I mean, Raven had dropped out one time or another because due to some situations. These things happen. And I don't think anybody would have thought anything different otherwise. I don't think the average Raw viewer would have been pissed off or otherwise objected to this guy losing Tyler Humberto on the show. I don't see why that's a problem unless they just don't buy into Humberto. Which, I mean, honestly, I don't think Humberto is as good as Angel Garcia.
No, he's not as good as Angel Garza.
Excuse me. Angel Garza. Excuse me. Yeah,
and honestly, I like Humberto. He's not as good as Angel Garza, and he's definitely not as good as Andrade. But the fact is, the bottom line is Andrade fucked up. Okay?
Yep.
He fucked up. He broke the rules. You take the title off him. And if you want to take him out for give an excuse for those 30 days, Humberto wins. You can have him cradle him and get the win out of nowhere. Andrade gets pissed, attacks him after the match. Humberto gets his revenge, takes him to the floor, beats his ass, lays him out with the DDT. Boom. That's why he's gone for 30 days. So not only does your babyface overcome and win the title, he gets his fucking revenge, and you've written Andrade out. You serve all masters, and you fucking move on.
But instead we got whatever the fuck happened on Monday night.
Got a bunch of bullshit is what we got.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know.
So
Bad move on my part.
yeah,
I don't see it.
not a
I
fan of
don't
that
get it.
move at all, dude. Hate it.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Bad move. Bad move.
So we're
I
gonna
know you have to protect. You got to protect Andrade because of who he's with. His whole
fuck that
situation there.
bullshit.
Well, the Royal Rumble winner, good sir.
Fuck off with Lady Big Dog and her Rumble win. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that.
So.
She's got some stroke around here. To be the man, you got to beat the man or woman. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, let's move on to something else. We'll move on to a little AEW talk.
Yeah.
Word is that Lance Archer, New Japan Pro Wrestling, is in deep talks of possibly signing with AEW Wrestling.
Yes.
Lance Archer is coming off his career best year overall. He had a excellent year in New Japan Pro Wrestling, some great G1 matches, excellent match with Will Ospreay, did some really good stuff with Moxley, had the Wrestle Kingdom match. It was a great year for him, but as many people learned in his interview with 411mania.com, which you can listen to here on the 411 Podcasting Network, it was learned, and Lance admitted himself that he was on a per-appearance deal and did not have a contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling, which when I found out, I thought was a horrible idea. Because I don't care that he's like 42 and that he's coming off that back surgery. The dude just had a career year, and you're telling me that with ROH throwing money around and Impact trying to get people and AEW looking to sign people and WWE signing everybody under the sun, that people weren't going to be after that dude following his year. So first, Steve Cook, Lance Archer to AEW, I think a lot of people feel this would be a good move because a lot of people think AEW needs some bigger guys. Lance is obviously coming off a career best year, as I said.
Yep.
What do you think of this possible move, and do you think it's happening?
Yeah, I mean, from what I saw from Lance Archer this past year in New Japan Pro Wrestling, he was pretty awesome. That match with him and Will Ospreay, that is one of the best matches of 2019. Just some great stuff right there. He did lots of good stuff in G1 as well. Just, I mean, it's amazing to think. You mean Larry Csonka? We saw this guy back in the day when he was Dallas, hanging out with Kid Cash, right? You remember Kid Cash?
That was the original incarnation of him in TNA, yeah.
You remember that? You remember those guys hanging out, and he was the guy, tall guy, 6'7", 6'8". He had the old tramp stamp tattoo. It wasn't too good, not a great look, and he worked his way through that, worked with their TNA, and he just went through things for years and years. And I saw him these years, like, oh my God, this guy's great. He did a lot of good stuff this year. And, yeah, definitely AEW needs some guys who are taller, and who are heavier. So I think he'd be a great fit with that promotion. And I don't know about the whole situation with the contracts and whatnot. I don't know. He has his story. I'm sure they have their story. It's a whole thing. But I'd be all about seeing Lance Archer all over AEW or anywhere else in 2020. Because that guy has some stuff to give right now.
Yeah, I think New Japan made a mistake because, first of all, you go back to the Dallas show last year where he had that Ospreay match, which was excellent. And,
it was a great match.
The thing is he was a big part of the local promotion for that show. And he was
Texas guy, yeah.
He was earmarked to be one of the bigger singles guys in the New Japan USA shows. Because he's based in the United States, he could do promotional work, and he had a great year. So I think it was a mistake not tying him up to a contract in that regard. Plus, you just look at the year he had. The guy was delivering more than anybody expected. Everybody thought he was going to be dead weight when Davey Boy Smith Jr. left because Killer Elite Squad was dead. And it turned out to be the best thing for both guys because Davey Boy Smith is doing really well in MLW. Lance Archer had a great year in New Japan. So it worked out best for both of those guys. I think it was a grave error by New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think it was just poor planning, short-sightedness overall. I think he would definitely be a great addition to AEW, as we saw in matches like with Moxley. He can do a great brawling heavyweight style. He's still
That was a good match on the Wrestle Kingdom show. Yes, it was.
And he's still athletic enough that he can work with guys like a Will Ospreay. And there are guys like Will Ospreay, not up to Will Ospreay's level, but there are guys like Will Ospreay, like a Phoenix and a Kenny Omega and guys like that he could work with and probably have some really great matches with. And I think he's a great big man. He was like all through the G1. I was like, this is what they wanted Fall A to be. Yeah. Like a believable big guy that like you can believe in, and he could have some quality matches. Because if I'm going to be honest, Fale's only good matches in New Japan were with Tanahashi, Nakamura, Ibushi, and Okada. Ospreay and Ibushi.
You know, those are some pretty good There's pretty good wrestlers right there. Even have good matches with a guy. I mean, good Lord, I could have good matches with these guys.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is,
I could stumble into a ring of good matches with the guys. I could.
The thing is, too, is those weren't even great matches. They were like very good at best. Even Ibushi and Ospreay had trouble with him because Fale is generally fucking useless. But Lance Archer was that kind of monster dude that people could believe in. He could have the quality matches. He could be a champion, as we saw. And it's just, I think it's a mistake by them. I think it would be a really good pickup for AEW. And again, we don't know, and this isn't so much of an age thing. It's like when I talked about with Sheamus last week. You don't know how much longer Archer's going to have. Because he is 42, 43.
It's an amazing thing. He's been around for a long time. Yeah. It doesn't feel like it, but he has been around for a long time.
And it's not the age that concerns me. It's just the fact that he was lucky that he came back after that back surgery and ended up doing the best work of his career.
Yeah.
And you never know when guys have a back injury when that might go again.
A lot of bumps on that body right there. Yeah.
Exactly. But I mean, if you're AEW and you can like lock in Lance Archer for a year, get a good year out of him, and then like do an option.
Sign him up. Yeah. I'm all about that.
So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I do think it would be a very positive signing for them. We'll see what happens. But if he ends up leaving, I do think that while not a major loss for New Japan, it is a loss for New Japan because he was a quality dude on that roster, and I think they could do a lot with him still.
Good to have in those G1 tournaments or in the tag team tournaments or wherever you might have. Yeah, absolutely. He's a good depth guy. I think you could say a good depth guy to have for these tournaments or for whatever, and definitely for AEW, a promotion that's kind of like tall guys. He'd be great for them.
Exactly,
he'd be great for them. So that's why WWE should be like throwing all kinds of money at the guy, right?
Yeah, you would think so.
Yeah, that's why WWE should be throwing like $15 million to the guy just to keep him away for those guys. It might happen. We'll see.
So I like Lance Archer a lot. I really enjoyed his 2019. And we'll see what happens.
He was one of my favorite guys in that G1. I mean, he was just I really liked him. I thought that match with Ospreay is really great. He kind of reined Ospreay in. You know, Ospreay likes to do some crazy stuff and whatnot, and some stuff doesn't make much sense. And I think working with Archer kind of reined him in a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed him. So we'll stick with AEW for a little bit more. The big rumors are Brian Cage done with Impact Wrestling. He has to have bicep surgery.
He's got to. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, and so that's going to take him out for a while. But according to all reports, he is AEW bound. Obviously, he was a main eventer for Impact Wrestling, so it will be a loss for them. I mean, I know the Impact Hive Mind fans are saying, "Fuck Brian Cage, he left us." But here's the thing. Sure. I mean, dude's probably trying to make money. He wants on national TV. Yep. And no offense to Access TV, they don't have big enough penetration compared to TNT. Right. And my man's trying to make a little bit of money. He had a good run in Impact, but they are losing a main eventer, so that will hurt them. It's going to be a while if he does show up in AEWC. But what are you thinking about Brian Cage possibly coming to AEW?
He is a guy. He looks like a main eventer. He works like a main eventer. He is a top-notch guy. You know, we saw in Lucha Underground, too. We saw in Lucha Underground a couple of the AAA promotion. This is a guy that can work main event style, can be a top guy. You look at the guy. He looks like a guy just kick your ass. Absolutely. Just good guy. just a good guy having on the roster. And if he recovers from this injury, that's the key, you know. If he recovers from the injury, you know, he's going to be great. But if he doesn't, then I don't know. It's a tough situation. I know, gosh, I don't know what's going on with the whole Impact thing with him jumping out the RVD in like 3 seconds, where the hell that was going on. But I'm a big Cage guy. From what I've seen, he's very good. He's a top guy. He looks like a guy that can be a, general main event guy.
Yeah, I like Cage. He was obviously, as you mentioned, really good in Lucha Underground, had a really good Impact run overall, that he had some injury problems. The thing that I think is concerning from the outside looking in is that he just suffered a torn bicep, and you go back and you look at a guy like Dave Bautista, who had several issues with that injury. Yeah. And I'm not alleging anything, but when you have issues with muscle tears a lot, that is what a lot of people would call a steroid-related injury. And let's face facts, Brian Cage is a large gentleman. Brian Cage is in fantastic shape.
Very fantastic shape, yes.
Brian Cage has admitted to using certain things in the past.
It is what it is.
So, and again, I'm not trying to bury the guy, but what I'm saying is...
No, it is what it is.
If I'm AEW, I'm a little concerned about this. Because what happens if he comes back, you put him in and you start a big program, and what happens if he gets Dave Bautista and he rips the bicep again? And then he's out for another 9 months.
That's why if you're AEW, you bring the guy in, you bring him for the title shot, and if things flow from there, they kind of, you don't lose too much. But you bring him in right away for a big title shot. I think it's what gives your AEW. And you don't lose too much there. But, yeah. Cage, that guy, he's got a ridiculous physique, too.
He does, Lord. Dude. And the guy, I like him a lot. He works really hard. The best thing about him is he's a tale of two performers in a way that he can be your big brooding powerhouse, but he's also insanely athletic, and he can work with pretty much anybody.
Yeah,
he can mix in some shit that you would think he can't do. And, he's a very versatile guy, and when he works with the right people, he could definitely have some great matches. He had, in my opinion, the best Impact match of the year with Michael Elgin last year. And he's a guy that can deliver upper-tier stuff. I would be a little concerned health-wise, though, because he did have that back injury last year.
Yeah.
And then he has the torn bicep now. So I think
things do start to add up, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Not getting any younger, a lot of muscle mass on that body, and it's just a lot to be concerned about, I think, if you're AEW. But I'm not saying don't take a flyer on him, but I think you have to be careful.
Yeah, I think you do take a flyer on him, and you can do some things with him. You don't try to push him. Program with him and Jericho would be pretty good. Build to him for a program for a title shot on pay-per-view. I think it'd be pretty good. I think that'd be pretty good stuff right there.
So we will go back to the Royal Rumble weekend, Steve, and
the
big news from the Royal Rumble is a couple things. First of all, your thoughts: Charlotte winning the Women's Royal Rumble.
Kind of a predictable outcome, to be honest with you, because if you're Charlotte Flair, if you're the daughter of Wu, Nature Boy Ric Flair, it's gonna happen at some point or another that you would become the first father-daughter combination to win the Royal Rumble. Absolutely, not a surprise as far as that goes. But then you kind of think, oh gosh, who do you have her wrestle? You got Becky as a Raw Women's Champion. Can you have another Becky Charlotte match? I just don't think that really works. We've seen Becky Charlotte time and time again. I just don't think that works.
I have no desire to see it.
No, exactly. It'll probably be a good match, but I have no desire to see it. And then on the SmackDown side, you got Bayley, which I don't want to see Bayley or Charlotte. I don't want to see them against each other either. So I have seen this kind of pitched on some websites. I've seen some people think that this is going to happen. I think the best thing that Charlotte could do here, as far as being the Royal Rumble winner, as far as challenging a women's champion going to WrestleMania, I would like to see Charlotte against Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. I would like to see that.
Yeah,
I would like to see Charlotte put Rhea over, and I think I'd be the best potential outcome for everybody involved. I think it'd be good stuff.
Yeah, that was Kevin's big pitch on Sunday night, that he wasn't overly thrilled with her winning for the same reasons as us, that like not really interested in the Becky match again, despite the fact that it'd probably be really good and maybe even
it'd
great.
be good, but we don't want to see it again.
And the Bayley matches last year I felt really underdelivered. And her and Rhea is at least interesting and new.
Yep.
And I would be all for it. So we'll see what happens there. Hopefully that is the case. The men's Royal Rumble match, Steve Cook, Brock Lesnar wrecked a bunch of people.
Yes, he did.
He danced to MVP's music, which was great. He saw Keith Lee and said, "Who's this big motherfucker?"
That's pretty good. I like that.
And then our boy Drew eliminated him.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
and
did.
Not only
Ricochet
and
not the balls.
But not only did Drew eliminate him, but Drew went on to win the whole thing as well.
Yes, he did.
I honestly thought that if somebody like Drew eliminated him, someone else might win so he could set up the two matches at once. But I'm not going to argue with it.
You underestimated Drew McIntyre's intensity and his integrity.
I underestimated WWE's booking of Drew McIntyre through up to this point because it's been shit.
Yeah.
But the fact is,
fair. I'm not going to blame you for that.
The fact is, Drew not only eliminated Brock, but he won the match, which, first of all, I love. Your thoughts on Drew winning before we hit something else?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm a big Drew McIntyre guy. I have been for a long time now. And, he had the thing going for a while. You might remember back in 2010 where Vince McMahon said he was going to be the chosen one. He's going to be the next guy to come along. And things kind of went awry, if you will.
Well, the problem is they anointed him the chosen one, and that always fails.
See, that's a problem right there. When you anoint somebody the chosen one,
that's right up there when you add the new in front of an old name.
It's like when you say, "Hey, here's Roman Reigns." Same thing right there. Everybody kind of did not want to buy into that, and Drew had some difficulties. He was part of 3MB for a while. He went down to the Indies. He went to the Indies and he found himself, and he became a fucking kick-ass professional wrestler. And I have no problem with this guy winning the Royal Rumble. I have no problem with this guy being Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I have no problem with this guy doing anything, honestly, because, I mean, is he not everything that WWE wants out of a professional wrestler? The guy,
he's big,
he works
he's
well.
Tall.
He's big, he's tall. He's a good-looking
Great
guy,
hair.
let's be honest. A great hair, great facial hair, great physique. Just a good-looking guy, let's be honest, okay? Guy looks good. I mean, Shawn Michaels for 20 years came out the Sexy Boy theme song, and a lot of these years it wasn't really accurate. Drew McIntyre's a good-looking guy, right?
I wish they would go back to the old Drew McIntyre theme music, though.
The Broken Dream?
Yes.
Yes, that is a good theme song. I do like his current theme, but I hear what you're saying right there. I hear what you're saying. It's good stuff, but yeah. I am all behind this push. I am behind Drew eventually kicking the shit out of Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I'm all about that.
I want to see it so
and he
bad.
should get the shit out of Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. He should.
I'm telling you, dude, I said I would love nothing more than to see the bell ring, Claymore that big motherfucker, and just pin him. Put this dude over.
He's got the countdown gimmick too. 3, 2, 1, bam. Yes. Yeah. Claymore the motherfucker. Put him over. I like it. I'm all about Drew McIntyre. And when I did the a cheap plug here, we have the Factor Fiction tournament going on. The Factor Fiction thing going on in the tournament. And one of the questions was, could somebody without a North American accent get over as a mainstream popular guy? Yeah, Drew McIntyre can. Why not? Goddamn, why couldn't he?
I think
Conor
so.
McGregor did, right?
Yeah.
Conor McGregor has gone over pretty well mainstream. Am I right?
Made hundreds of fucking $1 million. I'd call that over.
Damn right. Damn right. So let Drew McIntyre do whatever he can. I'm all about it. All about that stuff.
So besides Drew winning, which is obviously a huge deal in eliminating Brock, I think the other big thing is Roman beat King Corbin early in the evening, but he did not win the Rumble.
No.
I think a lot of people, we talked about it, we thought Roman was a possible choice. But the biggest news out of the Rumble, Steve Cook, was, as we talked about on the preview, a possibility, the return of Edge.
Yes.
First of all, what were you thinking when he finally came out?
Well, I gotta tell you, I was not surprised because, people have been saying for a long time, and he had been denying it for a long time. And the more he denied it, the more I thought, yeah, he's going to be there. The more he denied it, I thought, yeah, he's going to be there. He'll be there. He'll come out. And they fucking botched the first time he came out. The first move he did, they didn't show it. Like, what are you doing? What is wrong with you people?
Yeah.
What was that? How do you not show the first spear he does? That's terrible. That's terrible. Come on.
Yeah.
How you... I mean, and I did that. That's in the botch column coming up this week in 411media.com. Like, how do you fucking mess that up? What are you doing?
Well, WWE,
are you not watching the show?
WWE loves their 57 camera cuts in 30 seconds, man. It's horrible.
And Dolph Ziggler's fucking pissed too because Dolph was happy to take that spear and he thought this would be a big moment for him. But no, they went and showed some fucking asshole in section 334 looking at the camera like, what are you doing?
The thing that made me laugh the most is after the Rumble and after I did the podcast, I went and was watching part of the WWE watch along for that, and I skipped ahead to the Rumble. I skipped ahead to the Rumble, and when Edge comes out, and they're all losing their shit, and he comes out, and then they missed a spear, and Xavier Woods loses his fucking shit.
I'm sure he noticed it. Yeah. He wouldn't. Like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
Yeah, but I mean,
what is wrong with you people?
Obviously, Edge is back. The dude looked in great shape.
He did.
I think even my wife mentioned because I showed her because she was a big Edge fan, like Hardy's fan, and all that stuff. And whenever something cool happens, I show her. And he came on, and her first reaction was, he looks like he's about to fucking cry. I'm like, yeah, I know, right?
He did.
I'm like,
he
he's
did.
happy to be back. And then her second thing was, Christ, he's in good shape. And then her third thing was, he actually looks good with some gray in the beard.
There you go.
And then I looked at her, I'm like, well, he's like fucking 46, right? And she's like, holy shit. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But I mean, he looked in good shape, and Kevin and I talked about, I mean, it's a little hard to judge based off of the Rumble appearance because it's not like a one-on-one match.
No, it's not a wrestling match.
I thought he looked good. I thought he looked pretty crisp, all things considered, after being away for 9 years. And I mean, it's very much a cool moment, and
what he did looked fine. Yeah, it was fine for what he did was fine. I have no problem with that at all. And the only problem I had with the whole thing was, Kevin Dunn fucking up the direction. Like, how do you miss this first fucking spear in 10 fucking... How do you do that? What are you doing? What is wrong with you? That is terrible direction right there. That is... Oh, God.
So.
I would fire that man right then and there if I had any direction. If I was Vince or Shane or Stephanie or somebody, I'd fire that guy right then and there. Like, get the fuck out of here, is what I would say.
So
that's all I would say about that. And then, of course, I mean, I'll never forget. You had next month. You had the next night on Monday night with Edge making his big appearance, and then Randy Orton kind of ruining the whole situation and kind of destroying the man. And that's going to lead to a match WrestleMania possibly or whatnot, but which I thought got some pretty good heat. I thought people liked it. I thought people were properly pissed off. I think it'd be a good piece of business going forward. And I'm interested. I'm interested to see what Edge does going forward.
Yeah, by all reports, and I'll get onto that in a minute about the match with Orton coming up, but so by all reports is he signed a 3-year deal, roughly worth $3 million a year, where he's going to wrestle approximately 3 times a year and make multiple appearances.
Yeah.
And hey, you know what, man? He's 46. He came back. He's apparently cleared to come back and all that. Listen, if at age 46 you can lock in $9 million more for your family, good on him.
You know why he's cleared. because somebody else was talking to him.
I was going to bring that up as well. And here's the thing. People were like, oh, everybody's going to say they just re-signed him because AEW wanted him. I'm like, well, that is probably a big part of it.
Yep.
Here's the thing. Jon Moxley goes there, and all of a sudden, Jon Moxley became like the biggest star in wrestling.
Yeah.
And WWE was like, well, we just had that guy. What happened?
Yeah, exactly.
And
when they had him, he was not the biggest star in wrestling.
Yeah, so it's like, so you don't want someone else going in there. I'm sorry. I think it was a reactionary signing, but hey, he's back. He's happy. He's going to make some money. As far as the match with Orton goes, I saw a lot of people shit on it right away. And listen.
Because it's Randy Orton.
Well, here's the thing. I'll tell you this. I'm not going to lie. I haven't seen Randy Orton properly motivated in years. I haven't seen Randy Orton have a great wrestling match in years. But he and Edge are friends.
Yep.
And the thing is, this is going to be Edge's first singles match back. And I'm sure Edge had a ton of say in who his first opponent was. And he probably trusts Randy Orton with his life.
Sure.
And I think
that's why he said Randy Orton.
Exactly. And the thing is, Randy is, and I don't mean this in a negative thing, Randy is not exactly a high-intensity, hard-hitting worker. He's not a dangerous worker. He's going to take care of Edge. They do have history with the rated RKO thing. I agree with you. I thought the angle on Monday was great. Thought it was easily the best part of the show. Edge giving a great babyface promo. Orton comes out. They quickly tease the rated RKO reunion, which does remind me. I did crack up in the Rumble when they cleaned house and went face to face, and Orton looked at him like, "Damn, you're fucking shredded." So I thought that was all well done, and then Orton obviously comes off like the biggest asshole. They get great heat for the attack, and I think it all worked out well. And, I mean, I'm sure he's going to work really hard for Edge because he's going to want Edge to have a really good match coming back at Mania.
Sure.
And absolutely. I'm sure Edge is going to work his ass off. Probably be better than a lot of people think. About that. But I understand why he would pick Randy Orton. So I'm not going to shit all over it because, again, when you come back from an injury like that, I'm sure Vince is going to be like, listen, who do you want to work with? Because obviously he's not going to throw Edge in there with Brock to take 19 suplexes.
He did not come out there in a Brock Lesnar part in the Royal Rumble. He did not do that.
Exactly. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But, I mean, hey, man, Edge got a good deal. He seems happy to be back. And, hey, interesting night. We had husband and wife there with him and Beth working the Rumbles, and Zelina Vega and Aleister Black working the Rumbles. Phoenix,
Jesus Christ. Got her fucking scalp. She almost got scalped there. Jesus.
Yeah.
They had to keep her out there. She could work with Santina Marella. Like, what the fuck was that?
Shit. It was shit, Steve.
What the fuck was that? Come on. That's
a waste of a spot when you have 900 women under contract.
They had to keep her out there so she could work that gimmick with Santina. God damn. That pissed me the fuck off. I'm not going to lie. That pissed me off.
I hear you, dude.
So it really did.
So that was a Rumble, good show. Did you catch any Worlds Collide?
I did. I unfortunately, I got to tell you that I watched this show on Sunday afternoon, and I caught on Sunday afternoon after I heard that Kobe Bryant passed away. So I gotta tell you, I wasn't really feeling it. There's it's a kind of a somber mood for me, to be honest with you.
I understand.
Kind of a somber mood, and the show that I was watching didn't really bring me out of it. So, I mean, the guys were working hard. I will give them credit for work. They were working hard. They were doing some good stuff. They're trying really hard. But for me, the mood I was in at that point, it didn't really hit home with me, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. It just didn't hit home with me. I noticed the main event with Imperium got one guy injured, and they still won, so that's pretty good for them. Like that. Pretty good stuff. Walter doing some stuff. He had the 205 Live Cruiserweight main event. The Cruiserweight title changed hands with Jordan Devlin, right? Yeah. Yep. Some big stuff there. And I gotta tell you, the opening match with Finn Balor and the Russian guy, I gotta tell you, that didn't hit home. I don't know.
I know a lot of people were kind of torn on that one. Like, general consensus, like, really good wrestling match with no heat for Ilya because nobody knew who
exactly.
he
It was
was.
a good match. There's no heat for the guy who's facing Finn Balor. The only guy the fans knew there on that show is Finn Balor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think that worked. That was bad booking decision from what I saw. But and I hate to get I didn't hate the Rhea and Tony match. I didn't hate the main event. I didn't hate a lot of stuff they did, but to me, when the frame mind I was in, I didn't really feel it.
No,
I just didn't really feel
general
it.
consensus on Tony and Rhea was it was like a low-level good wrestling match that couldn't be anything more because nobody bought into Tony winning and just it was just kind of there.
That's fair. That's fair. Nobody thought the Tony's would win the title. Yeah, it is what it is there.
I do want to give you credit for the NWA Hard Times prediction, Steve. You nailed Eli Drake and James Storm winning the tag titles.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. They got the win over the Rock and Roll Express and over the Strictly Business Fellas, and and while they won, they still put the Rock and Roll Express over as being you are the personification of the championship. They still put them over. That's like, you guys are great. They know.
Yeah.
But, and then I watched the NWA Power this week, and they're still rolling along. And as I said on Twitter, Larry Csonka, and I know you agree with me, the promo at the end of the show, the sit-down interview / conversation with Nick Aldis and Marty Scurll, that was fucking awesome.
Yes, and that's actually
awesome.
A great segue, Steve, because we're going to talk about Marty Scurll next. Marty making big moves this week. He showed up at one of the New Japan USA shows, officially laid out a challenge to Jay White for the Supercard of Honor show over Mania weekend.
There you
so
go.
ROH Booker Marty Scurll doing big things, and then he appeared on NWA Power. Before we get to the main event promo, I do want to also say Nick Aldis's early show promo was also really great stuff. Nick Aldis.
Sean Mooney? Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, Sean Mooney being back in wrestling in 2020.
Love it.
Again,
I love it.
One of those things, again, you thought you wouldn't be talking about in 2020, but here he is. He was good in this role, but Nick, again, a great promo opening the show. He's quickly turned into one of the best promos in wrestling over the last year or so. And
I gotta tell you that I think Nick Aldis is the second best champion in wrestling right now, behind Le Champion.
I think that's fair.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think Chris Jericho's number 1, Nick Aldis number 2. Is where
the best part about Aldis is he does feel like an old school 605 Turner Television NWA champion.
Yes, he does.
I love when he comes out in the custom suit. He sets the belt on the interview stand, and then when he cuts his promo, it's just he's great. So, yeah, I love that. And then the big show closing promo, which was the other thing we wanted to talk about, obviously, was him and Aldis having their big sit-down meeting. And the stipulation coming out of Hard Times was that Nick Aldis beat Flip Gordon, which meant he was going to call all the shots in the feud with Marty going forward.
He's a dealer.
That's right. So they laid out the big promo, mostly Nick Aldis talking about how it was his match with Marty at the Crockett Cup that led to Marty getting so popular last year and getting his big deal. And then basically Marty was trying to get his title shot. Aldis was, I already beat you. He ended up acquiescing to the request, and he agreed to the NWA title shot. We're going full circle with the Crockett Cup like I thought, Steve.
Yes.
But the gimmick is that Aldis would give him the title shot, but would only agree to it that if Marty had something to lose, and that is, if Marty loses, he quote-unquote has to refund all the fans in attendance their money.
Yes, that's
which is
right.
a tremendous old-school babyface stipulation.
Yeah, to refund the fans their money. But I thought that Marty Scurll was great in this as well, because, even though Marty Scurll has... they admit in this promo that he gets a lot of money right now, that he's, people offer him a lot of money, but he has not been the World Heavyweight Champion. And that eats at him. That eats at him as a professional wrestler, that your top goal should be being the World Heavyweight Champion. So I thought that's great. That's just a great piece of business all around.
Yeah, I really like that as well. And just, again, the opening...
I mean, people said that, Marty Scurll's going to get all this money offered to him. It's like, oh, that's great, but Marty Scurll is like, well, that's all good, and I'm all happy with that, but I still want to be the world's heavyweight champion. I've never been that. That pisses me off. It does. So, good stuff.
Yeah, so I liked, again, the promo work from Nick Aldis at the beginning and the end. Really great stuff. Him and Marty was really great. Good stuff to close the show. And I like that they're already hitting hard the promotion for the Crockett Cup, which is taking place in April.
Yeah.
They're teasing a bigger venue. They're
teasing a bigger venue. They have not announced a bigger venue yet. We'll see what it ends up being.
We'll see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if it's center stage. I mean, because it's not a huge venue, but it's like ROH has run TV tapings there, old WCW home, so NWA territory.
It'd be easier for Marty to pay off that venue, too.
Fair enough.
You don't want to go to a big arena,
Yeah, we don't want to be going to the old Omni,
Yeah, the Omni. Oh, yeah.
So, but some really great work from those guys on that show. I enjoyed Power overall, especially because of the promo stuff. Good promos from Drake and Storm on the show as well.
So, yes, to Eli Drake, if you will, and of course we all love Stu Band as commentator, if you will.
Stu is really good.
He really is way too good. He really is.
So really enjoying him on commentary. But so that's our quick news roundup for the day, Steve. And there's a lot of stuff I felt we should talk about. Get it out there, but we need to get into AEW Dynamite for January 28th, 2020. Yeah. We started off our show, Steve, with a rare in-ring promo to start the show.
Yeah, we had good old Jon Moxley coming out. One-eyed Jon Moxley coming out.
Yes, the legend of the one-eyed Moxley. Yeah. And they were in Cleveland. Moxley's from Ohio, so obviously everybody loved him.
From down south in Cincinnati, but close enough, I suppose.
Yeah. So he says it was around the time that he got stabbed in the eye that he realized that the time for fun and games were over. At Revolution, he faces Jericho for the championship. He knows Jericho is his final obstacle, but he has more than Jericho to deal with. He has to deal with the entire inner circle. And he's talked about how Jericho is basically a bastard. He stole Ray's mask and punched a woman in the face.
Yeah, that's true.
The old HBK angle. But Moxley says he knows he's not a hero, a role model, or a saint, or necessarily a good person, but he lives by a code, and that is that money in the championship can't buy him. Jericho's a liar, manipulator, and a bully. At Revolution, he's going to look down the barrel of the gun, and he won't hesitate. He will take Jericho out, take the championship, and there's not a damn thing Jericho who can do about it. He knows knows he's going to have to watch his back because of the inner circle, but instead of waiting, he wants to whip Jericho's ass right now and calls him out. Le Champion arrives, says Moxley earned a spike to the eye because all he had to do was join him in the inner circle, but now he's a busted up, cracked up Captain Jack Sparrow, which I laughed at. Yeah. Says, you're stupid. He saw Moxley's mom backstage, said she was looking good, teases giving her a call. Yeah. And then he said he wouldn't apologize to her because, again, it's all Moxley's fault. You want to challenge me?
It is.
You can't even blink both eyes, but you want to fight. Go to hell. Cleveland doesn't deserve this. He always travels with the inner circle, and he was right about the Cleveland thing, obviously.
That is very true. Very true.
Says he always travels with the inner circle who arrived. Moxley says there's 5 of them, but he won't walk into a 5-on-1 beatdown. He was born here in Ohio and has the entire arena to back him up.
That's right.
Headed up the ramp, Jericho called him stupid, and then they brought out some street thugs that were brought in by Santana and Ortiz.
Yeah.
Which took the odds to 10-1. And Moxley ended up taking out Ortiz, DDT'd him on the floor, charged the thugs. We had the big security breakup. Moxley left through the crowd to a big pop. A rare opening promo on Dynamite, which, again, I'm fine with every once in a while as long as you don't do it every week.
Yeah.
I thought Jericho and Moxley were both pretty great here. I thought it was a good way to continue the build to the pay-per-view while keeping them apart because they didn't have any interaction.
I thought it worked out pretty well too from a fan standpoint. From somebody trying to flip back and forth between AEW and NXT. When you see Jon Moxley talking, that's pretty good. You see Chris Jericho talking. That's pretty good. So I thought it was a good piece of business right there.
Yeah. And I also really liked that not only was Moxley not a stupid babyface, but at
he wasn't.
But at the same time, he also wasn't made to look like a complete superhuman beating up 10 guys.
No, he beat up a couple guys, and security came down. They took care of business. And there's some nonsense going on, but he didn't run through everybody and kick Chris Jericho's ass and stomp him in hole and make it dry. It's fine. I thought it was good for what it was supposed to be. I thought it worked out.
Yeah, and I think most importantly, you didn't have him and Jericho brawling for no reason already.
No,
we still have weeks to build.
They never touched.
Yeah.
They didn't touch.
There was a video of MJF arriving at the Butcher's slaughterhouse, paying off the bunny. Big wad of cash, which led to the Young Bucks facing the Butcher and the Blade.
Big wad of cash for the bunny.
That's
yes,
right.
Sir.
We had the bunny at ringside while MJF and the Wardlow went up the commentary. MJF bearing the Young Bucks on commentary, claiming that they say that they're good Christian boys, but they're such marks. The only Bible verse they know is Austin 3:16.
It's probably true.
So,
to be honest, it's probably true.
Young Bucks defeated Butcher and the Blade just under 9 minutes via pin. Thought they had a good little tag match. The right winners. I thought the Bucks were good baby faces. They gave Butcher and the Blade a lot of offense. And then we had a post-match angle, Steve, where the Butcher and the Blade attacked again, but Kenny Omega made the save. Adam Page trailed behind him with a beer in his hand. Literally said, "Hold my beer," and handed it to Matt. Hit a buckshot lariat, took his beer back, and left.
Damn right. Adam Page "Hold my beer," took care of business, and left. That's what you need to do. That's what you need from that guy right now. Because that's what people want to see from Hangman Page right now.
Adam Page
they want to see it. It's hold my beer. He takes care of business. Good stuff. Good stuff.
He is the hero we deserve, Steve.
He is the hero we deserve. Absolutely.
So
I like him.
I like that though, because it continues the stuff with the Bucks and Page and Omega to where
and then, Bucks were probably jealous of the guy. I'm sure they were. They're like, what the? How dare he come to our rescue?
But they're kind of all on the same page, but they're not.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, he is. He came to their rescue, but at the same time, it's like, how dare he come off as best he could while we're still looking like assholes. Yeah.
Next up, Steve, Nyla Rose defeated Big Swole 835 via pin. Your thoughts?
It was a decent match. Like most of these AEW women's matches, it was a decent match, if you will. I was kind of I gotta tell you, I was looking at their channel at this point, to be honest with you. But I think Big Swole has a lot of potential.
Yeah, I like her a lot.
I think she has a lot of potential going forward. I don't know about Nyla Rose's potential, but I think that's kind of 50-50. I think that Big Swole is a girl that's a lot of potential going forward.
Yeah, I thought it was solid, a little rough at times. Obviously, the idea was to put Nyla Rose over as the top contender. I thought overall, though, if I was trying to just judge performance-wise, I was more impressed with Big Swole, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think there's just something about her, like, overall appearance and, like, charisma, facial expressions that, she pops off the screen a lot for me.
And she's a lot better in the ring, too. I think that her offense is more believable, too.
But I like her a lot though, and but it was solid. There was nothing wrong with it. A little rough, and we talked about it a lot. Still a lot of work to be done on the AEW Women's Division, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah,
there's no Shotzi Blackheart in this match.
Yeah. Next up, we had
we'll get to her later.
We had Cody versus Chris Sabian.
Kip Sabian.
Yep. And what did I say?
Not Chris Sabian. Chris
sorry.
Sabian is on a different show.
Yes, Kip Sabian. My fault.
I want to see Cody and Kip Sabian. I would like to see Cody and Chris Sabian. That'd be a pretty good match.
I'd rather see Cody and Chris Sabian after this.
Absolutely.
So Cody defeated Kip here at 11:30 via pin. Okay, first of all, I thought Cody was great here. I loved him.
Cody tried. He did. Yeah.
I thought he was great going murder, death, kill with the 3 crossroads at the end. But my problem is the Kip Sabian character just feels completely overbooked at this point. Tons of bullshit with Penelope Ford throughout the match.
Yeah.
And honestly, throughout his AEW run, he has done nothing to really impress me so far.
Other than being with Penelope?
Yes. I thought that...
That's very impressive, but other than that, yes.
I thought the match was really average. I thought Penelope Ford did her best to be a Dollar Tree Zelina Vega. Yeah. But she's not nearly as good as Zelina Vega in her role. And,
well, I mean, Zelina's got a lot of experience edge there, too. Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought
yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, it's a tough situation. I thought that this was the kind of the situation where Kip would have a chance to shine, and I think this was a test for him. I don't think he passed it.
No,
I don't think he passed.
I thought it was a completely average match, and technically Cody's worst AEW match so far.
We've seen Cody have matches with guys that we weren't sure about. Guys with like Cody versus Sammy Guevara, Cody versus Darby Allin.
Yep.
And those guys passed the test. I'm not sure that Kip Sabian passed that test.
Kip Sabian, for me, continues to fail because, I go back to when he had that match with Adam Page leading up to the title shot that went 19 fucking minutes, way too long, and it was boring as shit. And just, he had a match with Kenny Omega on Dark that was, technically really good, but, overbooked again with so much Penelope Ford stuff. I just don't have a lot of time for that, and I think
it's tough to have a bad match with Cody. Kobe too. But it's tough to have bad match with Cody Rhodes in AEW. I don't. That's tough to me. I don't see that working.
I agree.
Yeah, if you can't have a good match with Cody in AEW, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Next up, we had a promo with Britt Baker, the sequel to her promo with Tony Schiavone. She demanded Tony address her as Doctor.
Speak really, keep failing tests.
Says that they were the stars of the show last week and trending. Then she said, she was trending, but Mr. Starbucks was there to hold the mic. She then ran down Jim Ross for cutting off her promo and says to never do it again. Says that JR only talks about her being a dentist and runs down the new generation while collecting a paycheck. She wants him to be the legend we all grew up on, not a barbecue shelling slob getting names wrong and collecting a fat check. I thought she was supposed to be a heel here, but she was babyface.
Seriously, she's trying to work a face premiere. What the fuck? What the hell? I didn't know what was going on here. I had no idea what she's doing.
She ran down Riho. She told Tony Schiavone that he had gingivitis, needs to pick up a toothbrush. And then told Cleveland she can thank them because they finally have a baker they can trust in.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I thought honestly, execution wise, I thought her promo was much better than the last one.
That wouldn't take it much.
Yeah, no, I thought her delivery was really good. I thought the content was good overall, despite the fact that she kind of baby-faced on JR.
Yeah, but that's the problem there. You're baby-faced on Baker Mayfield. It's come on now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, obviously for us, she's baby-facing with the Baker Mayfield stuff.
For us. It's tough to say. We have to decide when she gets down to Huntsville, Alabama. That's when you can decide on this whole situation.
But no, I thought the promo was overall much better this week, and I'm definitely willing to see where it goes because I think she definitely is showing good instincts on some of the heel stuff. And I thought overall the execution was a lot better than last week. I know
I'm a fan of Britt Baker in general. I mean, you are too. I mean, she's an intelligent woman. I mean, she got the intelligence. She's got the smarts working for her. She is not a Cleveland Browns fan, so we're all good with that.
I think the other thing is because from what I've heard, she has a lot of input in what she's allowed to say, and I think she's also very self-aware because she realizes the running joke about, hey, she's a dentist.
She's a dentist. Yeah, that's right.
And I like that she worked that in there in a totally smart-ass way.
Yeah.
So I mean, I appreciate that, and I think it's we always talk about that, the best characters are when they're more extensions of themselves turned up, and I think that, she knows people are mocking of that, and when you can work that in, that's a smart thing to do.
Yeah. So I think they'll figure it out eventually. Yeah. It's going to take a little time.
Yeah, and it's okay as long as it continues to improve. That's the thing that has to happen, obviously.
I think should be good. I think should be a big Joe Burrow fan. That's what I'm thinking right there. Yeah,
could be.
Who wouldn't be? So, you seen Joe Burrow do something? He's pretty good.
There you go.
That's all I'm saying.
So we had a backstage interview with the Bucks and Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
The Bucks were talking about how they hope to earn a tag title shot. Drunk Adam Page arrived and gloats about being tag team champions and that they just had their nameplates put on the titles. Said everybody had nameplates made for them, but theirs are on there before the Bucks, and they gave the Bucks their nameplates and basically said, maybe you'll get to use these one day. Kenny again tries to play Peacemaker again.
Rub it in, man.
That's right. He's great. And then they announced next week that it's going to be the Bucks, Page, and Omega versus the Butcher Blade and two of their opponents of their choosing, which we found out later are going to be the Lucha Bros.
Oh.
So that should be a fun match. And again, they're slowly telling this story between the Bucks, Omega, and Page. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's one of the better stories in the company right now.
It really is. That's one of the better stories right now. And the Man Who Bum has been talking to me about the Lucha Bros, how they've been kind of put on the back burner so far. How, a lot of people thought the Lucha Bros would be one of the top tag teams in AEW, and so far they have not been that way.
Yeah, we'll find out. I try to keep perspective as much as possible, and that is including like with NXT.
You got Phoenix losing to Joey Janela in a singles match. That's the one that made you go, hold on a second, what the hell is going on here?
Well, yeah, we can obviously.
When Phoenix losing to Joey Janela, I was like, what the hell is going on here? Well, that's not right.
But I try to remember that like with NXT, it's a 2-hour show. There's a shit ton of talent in NXT. It's like you look at tonight's show, like Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair weren't even on the show.
No, they weren't.
And you would have thought maybe coming out of Worlds Collide and the Rumble that they would have at least had an interview or something. But, there's so many damn people on the roster.
Yep.
You can run NXT or AEW for 3 and 4 weeks and never see certain people.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people. And, like, this next match we're going to talk about with AEW, we had SCU, Sky, and Kazarian facing off with Angelica, Angelico, and Jack Evans, who are two guys who don't find Dynamite a lot. And that just... like the Lucha Bros, it's a deep tag division. Can't use everybody, unfortunately. So, SCU out there paying tribute with Kobe jerseys.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Thought that was cool. Sky and Kazarian won at 10:05. Thought they had a good little tag match with the former champions getting a nice rebound win. And Angelico and Jack Evans still struggling to find wins on the big show, though.
It was fine. Though. And apparently Angelico and Jack Evans were paying tribute to La Parka with their particular ring attire.
Yes, they did. They had the half skeleton outfits on, and they also did at times the little La Parka dance.
Yeah, so good for them. Good stuff there, and they got to work a match, and I had no problem with it. Good stuff.
So, post-match, we got a quick Dark Order promo saying the Exalted One was upset with Daniels. They warned him that they were coming for him, his family, and his friends.
We'll see how that goes.
It was short. It was in and out.
We'll see if the Exalted One is the possible one people are talking about. So. If it does end up being the broken one, I think it'd be very good.
I think people will definitely be more into giving them a chance.
Yes. If it ends up being the broken one to be Exalted One, I think people will give it a chance.
Yeah. And for those
otherwise, it's been a waste of time.
And for those that don't know, the Exalted One was going to be revealed on December 18th as Marty Scurll originally. Yeah,
that was the original plan, but plans will go awry, as right. It will. But if plans end up going as they are right now, if it does end up being the broken one, I think that'd be a better situation.
I do too. It'll be interesting to see. But then we got what I thought was a really good pack video package. It was shot differently, different location, really cool production. Said he still wants Kenny Omega, but he's not going to do things on Kenny's schedule anymore. And said next week he's coming for blood.
Right.
I just thought he was really great here. I loved the look of the video. And it was different from anything else on this show or NXT as well. It was just a very different feeling, and I like that.
Yeah. Anytime blood is involved, it's always a good situation.
So
get some blood.
Then they announced officially for next week, we have Cody taking his 10 lashes from MJF. Ortiz versus Jon Moxley playing off of the show opening angle.
Yes.
Britt Baker versus Yakizaki, who hasn't been back since the summer shows. The Bucks, Page and Omega versus Butcher Blade and the Lucha Bros, all set for next week.
Yeah.
So, Private Party came out for the main event, and on the lower third, never got that $12 from Adam Page still.
No.
Poor guys.
Oh, man. Crazy.
The main event, though, was the inner circle of Chris Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz, who have developed into a really fun trio, facing off with Private Party.
Good old
and
six-man
Darby
tag to wind up the show, just like, those AAA shows would have six-man tags done the show. That was a pretty good piece of business. A lot of people got to do stuff, got to go over. But of course, at the end of the day, you knew that the Chris Jericho had to hit the Judas effect, and good God, that man. What? Who was that? Isaiah Cassidy?
Yeah.
Who ate that Judas effect? Good Lord. He got murdered. It was great.
He did, yeah. The inner circle picked up the win, 12 and a half minutes via pin. I thought this was the best match on the show. Thought it was really good. I love Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz working together. I think they're a really fun trio. Thought Darby Allin got the shine here a good bit down the stretch. Inner Circle dominates as they should right now, which led to a post-match beatdown where they beat the shit out of the baby faces. Sammy Guevara beat the shit out of Darby Allin with his skateboard, air guitared with it. And then that led to Jon Moxley making the save with a baseball bat, clearing the ring to stand tall.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff at the end of the show. Good stuff. I thought AEW did a good solid job this week, which they've been doing lately, since they've had kind of the reset after the previous year. They've kind of been doing some stuff differently. I thought they've done a good job.
I agree. Yeah, I don't think it was like a blowaway show or anything, and we'll talk about it a little later when we kind of do the old head-to-head
They're
comparison.
kind of building stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but
building stuff.
Yeah. So that will lead us to NXT, obviously, the same date, January 29th, 2019. Well, yeah, it was 29th, right? Had to look at the calendar just to make sure. I'm like, wait a minute.
Just to make sure, yeah.
So we started off NXT with Finn Balor versus Trent Seven from NXT UK. This was fallout
One half of Mustache Mountain.
Yes. Fallout from Worlds Collide when Balor attacked Gargano backstage. Mustache Mountain made the save. And then apparently last night, Finn Balor beat the shit out of Trent Seven in the parking lot for getting involved in his business.
So that's why he went with Tyler Bate, apparently. Yeah, okay, yeah. I saw Tyler Bate get involved, and apparently Finn Balor didn't want any part of that. He wouldn't go against Trent Seven, which, I don't know. Was a fine professional wrestling match. You can tell Finn Balor's scared of Tyler Bate and afraid of anybody else who had things actually going on.
Yeah, so
right?
Finn Balor...
He's afraid.
He's afraid.
Won. A scared man.
Finn Balor won at 10-10 via pin.
He beat Trent Seven, the weak link of Mustache Mountain. Good for you. Good for you.
I thought Balor's aggression here was really good. I think Trent Seven is still a really underrated, great babyface. You had a good angle coming into it. It made sense. Right man won, but I want Balor and Tyler Bate next.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. That Finn Balor is afraid of Tyler Bate, so he would go with Trent Seven. Why not? I'll go with the weak link. I will wrestle Robert Gibson to avoid Ricky Morton, is what Finn Balor was saying.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Kathy Kelly.
He's a pussy. It's all right.
Kathy Kelly interviewed the Broserweights backstage. Riddle said he can see the love from his bro from another Mo whenever he looks at Pete Dunne. And Pete is just so great here because he's the ultimate straight man with his angry face.
That's right.
And then Pete's, they said they'll snap the grizzled young veterans if they have to, and when they win, everyone will see that Pete is ready to party.
So how do you feel about this whole situation with Matt Riddle? I mean, we've all heard the situation, we've all heard speculation, we've all heard the rumors, if you will, about Matt Riddle and Brock Lesnar and all that stuff. How do you feel about that? What are you thinking?
I don't know, dude. It's so hard to figure out what's like actually real and what's a fucking work with that company.
Matt Riddle has had a few things before where you're not sure whether that's a work or whether that's a shoot. We don't know.
Yeah, I don't fucking know, dude. I really don't. It's so hard to tell with that company because
I mean, Matt Riddle's a talented guy. He's got a lot of talent. Like, got a world of potential. But I do wish he'd shut the fuck up once in a while. I'm not gonna. I just wish guy would shut the fuck up, and don't try to be a fucking asshole all the time. Be like, oh, I could kick a Brock Lesnar's ass. Oh, I could kick Booker T's ass. Oh, I could kick this guy. Yeah, just shut the fuck up once in a while. That's all I'm asking.
Fair.
I mean, if you mind your P's and Q's, I think you'd be fine. I think he's the kind of guy where Vince McMahon will look at him, the NXT roster goes like, oh, he looks good. But no, he has to be an asshole. I don't understand it.
I'm honestly surprised Vince hasn't main rostered him because he's like he's a Von Erich in 2020.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. If Vince looked at the guy, I think he would think, yeah, this guy should be a main roster guy. But he has to be an asshole and do some stupid bullshit. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's stupid.
We got
mind your business.
We got a video package with like yellow circles and the numbers 5, 20, and 2 in it, seemingly teasing a February 5th return or debut. Thinking Velveteen Dream, I think, Steve.
Sure. It'd be about time for it. It's been a while since we've seen the Velveteen Dream. One of the highlights of NXT's business, so hopefully it is. We hope it is. It'd be nice.
Yeah, I do too. So next up, Shotzi Blackheart rode out in a mini tank.
Yes.
And
I love me some Shotzi Blackheart. I do.
She defeated Deonna Purrazzo 325 via pin.
As well, she should have.
Short match. It was okay for the time given. Obviously, you can't do a lot in 325. I think Shotzi has a lot of potential once she really focuses on the things she does well and kind of refines her rough edges.
Which is right out of a tank and being a badass.
Yeah. But I mean, I think she definitely has star potential, and I think NXT realizes that too, because I don't think they're giving her like a mini tank entrance already, if you don't believe that.
No, that's why she's going over frickin', what is her name?
Deonna Purrazzo.
Deonna Purrazzo, yeah. I mean, she's a good worker too. But, I mean, good lord, this woman... Did you see the thing they shot last week where Deonna Purrazzo attacked Shotzi Blackheart from behind, backstage? It's like the most fake bullshit of all time. It's sad. Bad shit. Not good stuff there. So good thing that Shotzi Blackheart took care of business, taking out Deonna Purrazzo, moving on. And I'm a Shotzi Blackheart guy. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I think she has a ton of potential. She definitely has a different look from everybody on the roster. And I
like that.
Yeah, again, and I think that's important too. But I think, again, is like there are certain things she does really, really well. And I would think once she focuses on those things, and like some of her basics are a little rough, I think once she smooths those out after working down at the PC and stuff. She'll get plenty of time
too. Working the Performance Center. She'll get plenty of time to work that out.
Exactly. But again, I think there's definitely some star potential there, no doubt. She has a good charisma about her too, which also helps.
Yeah, that always helps.
Big Keith Lee arrived, your new North American heavyweight champion.
That's right.
Talked about ending the Undisputed Era's prophecy, but he was interrupted by Damian Priest. Priest says he likes talking about things, and
that wasn't great.
Wants the title.
That wasn't so good.
He was rude.
Yeah, it was rude.
Dijakovic arrived, put over Lee as a deserving champion, and then added that bootleg Marilyn Manson won't be the first to challenge Keith for the title. It's
not fair.
Him.
That's a fair point right there. Yeah.
So,
he was a bootleg Marilyn Manson.
I laughed at that. That was good. So that led to Dominic Dijakovic facing off with Damian Priest. Dominic Dijakovic won 8:45 via pin.
The right guy won.
Yes. Right man won. A good hossy little sprint with the right winner. And I'm all for Dijakovic and Lee getting a takeover match. Because they have a good history of TV matches. And I think giving them the freedom on a commercial-free takeover atmosphere could be really great for them.
Yes. especially good for Keith Lee.
So.
Especially good for Dijakovic. I think that would be a great thing for those two particular individuals. And I do think that the more those guys get to wrestle each other, the more awesome it will be. So, all about it.
Like it.
And Damian Priest / Punishment Martinez / wherever. You can get out of here. I don't care about it. I don't care.
Don't be rude to bootleg Marilyn Manson, Steve.
I will be, because, sweet dreams are made of this. Where we disagree.
Kelly interviews Tommaso Ciampa about the possibility of being announced as Adam Cole's challenger for TakeOver Portland.
The possibility.
Yes. He says Goldie comes home at TakeOver, and he will make sure of that tonight. Came back from the commercial break where the Undisputed Era minus Adam Cole were knocked out backstage, and we saw Ciampa walking out from behind the corner with a pipe in his hand and his shirt all ripped up. Apparently, he just took care of business. Headed to the arena with a table, spray painted a big X on it. Said, Adam Cole then found the Undisputed Era laid out, headed to the ring. Calls Ciampa a coward, and Ciampa says he never lost his title and that he's Goldie's daddy. Demands he comes to the ring and signed a contract for a title match. William Regal arrives to say that Cole already signed a contract and wasn't concerned about who he was going to face. Cole snatched the contract, walked down to the ring. Ciampa beats the shit out of him, powerbombs him through a table after being hit with the mic. He was a little bloody from that, signed a contract, wiped his blood on it, and stared at Goldie, and shit kind of got real there. Liked it. And, Cole and Ciampa, obviously, potentially great match. Looking forward to that, and we will see what happens in Portland, but that's definitely a great addition to that card. Because you already have the women's match on there, and then you got Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano, and then later on the tag title match was made official as well.
Is there anything else in that show? Why should there be anything else in that show?
Usually it's 5 matches, man. So
there really shouldn't be, to be honest with you. Yep. Some good stuff. Good stuff right there. Anytime that Tommaso Ciampa is kicking the shit out of everybody is good stuff in my book. I like it. So I'm down with it.
It was announced next week that our new Cruiserweight champion Jordan Devlin will be on the show. Good deal.
Yes.
Next up, Steve, Tegan Nox defeated Dakota Kai. 3 minutes and 15 minutes via pin.
They've been on that feud for a little while. And that was flat to me.
She won when Dakota Kai was going to get a chair. Candice LeRae made the save, and then Tegan Nox hit Dakota Kai with a knee brace, hit the shiniest wizard, and pinned her. It's like...
That kind of tells you what they think of Dakota Kai going forward, to be honest with you.
I guess. I kind of hope it's not over because the booking felt really flat here. Good. And it's like the baby faces essentially healed up and teamed up on the heel for... I get and revenge.
They're both in the Royal Rumble match, and they were near each other too. So it kind of tells you it's like, this is not a long-term thing for these girls.
Which I think is really unfortunate, because I think if that's the case, the feud ended way too soon.
Especially for Dakota Kai,
Yeah, I think the feud ended way too soon, so it had a lot of potential. Yeah. The match was short. I thought it was okay and energetic while it lasted, but it's fine. The booking was just weird.
Yeah,
and
they don't have I think it's just that situation where it's like we don't have plans for these girls going forward. They just don't.
The booking continued to be weird, Steve.
Yeah.
Next up, Kaden Carter defeated Chelsea Green at 3 minutes and 10 seconds via pin. Chelsea Green, they've been trying to make a big deal out of, signed with Robert Stone, big free agent, gonna be a big deal heel, and she lost already. First match.
I was a little torn on that because I didn't really see why that was supposed to be a big deal anyway. I mean, no offense to Chelsea Green as far as her work goes, but we've seen her do stuff before, right? We've seen her in Impact Wrestling. Yeah. We've seen her do some stuff in their promotions. She's a girl. She's there doing some things. So I'm not surprised they used her to put somebody else over. And I don't know why the hell Robbie E is here. Why is Robbie E here as a manager? What is that? Why is he there?
Because they're trying to bring managers back, I guess.
Because Robbie E, they thought to did they think he's gonna be a Tony Khan impersonator? Is that what the deal that was there? What is that?
I guess that's a rumor going around. Who the hell
That's
knows?
the rumor that somebody went to shoot on Tony Khan and have Robbie E impersonate the guy. And I don't know. I don't know, man.
I mean, I don't think
Where the hell? Your boy Stokely Hathaway /
Malcolm Bivens, I know, just
where the
there
hell
fucking
is he?
doing nothing.
Why, if you want to bring back managers, if everybody's like, oh well, NXT's gonna try to bring back, where the hell is he? Why is he not doing this?
Doing
shit
fucking dark segments, man. He did a dark segment before they went on air. I know.
That's awesome. Okay, good job.
Fucking bullshit.
Right.
I know, dude. Trust me. I mean, God, why have a dude on there who can cut a promo? God forbid.
I mean, Robbie E has had wrestling matches before, right?
I don't fucking know, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, you've watched some TNA shows in the past.
I try to remember. I try to forget a lot of his stuff. So
yeah, I know, but it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand. No offense to Chelsea Green. I mean, I like her. She's an attractive lady. She does some good stuff in the ring, but yeah, I'm not surprised she lost to who is it? Kane Carter. Yeah. I don't mind Kane Carter either. I don't mind her. I
just don't see why you allegedly put the effort into trying to build up Chelsea Green and just have her lose.
Yeah, there's no reason for that.
Because to me, what it feels like is they're going to sell it as the overconfident heel lost because she was overconfident, and she's probably going to get her fucking win back next week.
And it won't put anybody over.
Yeah,
nope.
Won't mean a thing. It'll be stupid.
Nobody will give a shit. It'll just be another match.
So, main event of the evening, Steve. The finals of the Dusty Classic.
Yeah.
The Broserweights defeated the Grizzled Young Veterans 21-10 via pin. What did you think of this main event?
I like the Broserweights. I do. Good little tag team there. Did some good stuff there. I gotta tell you, the thing that pissed me off about this whole thing, because up until this point, NXT had always run until like 10:06, 10:08, right?
Yeah.
They always gone long, so I was looking forward to. Well, you know what? I could just watch I could watch the AEW main event, and then I can flip over and watch the rest. No, they went off at 10 o'clock. What the God? What are they doing? You're trying to make people not to watch your show. What are you doing? Ugh, I was so pissed off.
Got to get to that Miz and Mrs., man.
I was so pissed off when I flipped over 10:01. Is fucking Mrs. Miz. What the hell are you doing? What the hell? The crazy stuff, but at least I put the right team over, is all I can say about that. The Broserweights, I do like the Broserweights. Good team right there. I like that. And unfortunately, based on what they did with Matt Riddle and Royal Rumble, yeah, that's how he's going to get over. He's got to do a tag team. I don't know. Yeah. Good Lord. What happened there, that Royal Rumble? With Matt Riddle.
Got to get King Corbin
Lee
over,
too.
man.
Keith Lee, too. Keith Lee lasted a couple minutes, and Matt Riddle lasted a couple minutes. He lasted
40
less
seconds.
Like, what the hell? Jesus Christ. What are you doing?
40 seconds and eliminated by the Burger King.
Yeah, by the King. What the hell? What was that? What happened? It had to be Brock Lesnar interacting with them, right?
What the hell happened? That's the rumor. Who the fuck knows?
It has to be. Company? I mean, that's the only possible explanation.
Well, I think if it was honestly the Brock interaction, that they would have had Brock murder him in like 10 seconds earlier in the Rumble.
Well, I mean, if it's a shoot.
Unless they were afraid of Riddle shooting on him.
God, it was a shoot. I would like seeing that. I would like to see Matt Riddle shooting Brock Lesnar. That'd be more interesting than the WrestleMania main event, I'm sure.
Yeah, I thought the main event was really good. Broserweights rule; they're so much fun.
That's a fun tag team.
I thought the Grizzled Young Veterans were really good here as well. But for me, what hurt the match the difference for this being very good to great was that never bought into the Grizzled Young Vets winning. I didn't feel there was a lot of drama in it.
No chance.
Very good wrestling match, but it lacked that extra to take.
I never bought into them winning match. Never a chance to me.
So
I'm sorry. I know the NXT UK fans might chime in on the Grizzly Young Veterans are just the best tag team in the business. I didn't see it. Didn't see it.
So, Steve Cook, that leads us to the head-to-head comparison for the week. I will let you go first.
Yeah. I'm going to give it to All Elite Wrestling, the Dynamite show. I thought the six-man tag to end the show is a pretty good piece of business. I thought that the opening match was a pretty good piece of business. They had a lot of stuff going on. I wish it was in someplace other than Cleveland because I hate Cleveland. Not a big. I know you and me agree on that. Cleveland's a terrible place, am I right?
Right. I agree.
Awful, awful place to have a wrestling show. Just bad piece of business. But thought they did a good job. I think the bookings really got kind of solidified there over the past few weeks. So I enjoyed the AEW a little bit more.
Fair enough. I thought Dynamite was an overall good show. I like the way they're continuing to build the Moxley and Jericho. I love the Young Bucks, Omega, Page stuff. I think that's some of the best stuff they're doing right now. I thought most of the wrestling was good. I didn't think it was good as last week. It lacked a little bit of energy comparative to...
They weren't on a boat, was a problem.
But it lacked a little bit of the energy from the recent weeks, but I thought it was, again, an easy watch overall. I also thought that NXT was good, but much like Dynamite, kind of a step back in its usual quality. There was some good wrestling. I liked the Dusty Finals. I thought they did a good job of solidifying the card for TakeOver Portland, but I was not enthralled with a lot of the women's booking, which is really rare for NXT because that's been such a strong suit as of late.
It has.
So just I did not get a lot of that women's booking, Steve.
No, I mean, when you give Chelsea Green this big introductory promo, you give her this big, tremendous manager. I don't know what they're doing. Bad stuff.
But that kind of wraps us up for this portion, Steve.
Yeah.
We're going to be back this weekend. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to talk some news.
Some TNA.
Yeah, some TNA nostalgia leading into their show over WrestleMania weekend and our times covering TNA over the years. And it'll be a good time. So thank you as always for your time, my friend.
Yes, sir. And a good old Wednesday night as usual. Wednesday night, the best wrestling night out there. I cannot compare any other night of professional wrestling. If you want to compare Impact to it, if you want to try to compare... I don't know what else we would try to compare to it, but this Wednesday night is professional wrestling night.
It really is. So like I said, we'll be back this weekend, and I will be back in a moment because I will be solo previewing the New Japan New Beginning and Sapporo shows, so I will talk to you in a moment. All right, Ramblers, let's keep on rambling. I want to thank Steve, as always, for helping me do the Wednesday night breakdown. A good time, as always, talking to Steve. I'm going to continue on here with a little bit of solo audio because Steve doesn't follow New Japan as closely as others. And I want to talk a little bit about this weekend's New Japan New Beginning and Sapporo shows. Little preview. I will have written previews this weekend. I will have live coverage of both shows if you're up early in the morning and want to join me. I would greatly appreciate that. But let's run down some of the matches that we're to get here on night one, which is February 1st. Tiger Mask and Yuya Uemura are reuniting after their Super Junior Tag League run, which was not successful because Yuya Uemura took a bunch of losses, which is his job as a young lion. But he showed great improvement in fire throughout, and Tiger Mask was a good teacher for him. They're facing off with the former junior champions Taiji Ishimori and El Phantasmo. There will be a lot of people that are going to want to hand wave and sleep off on this one, and those people, let me tell you, are wrong. Tiger Mask and Uemura were good and entertaining in Junior Tag League. Uemura is starting to show real growth as a performer, and Tiger Mask plays his veteran role really well. Ishimori and Phantasmo, obviously former tag team champions. They've had great matches since their pairing. They generally don't disappoint. They're on the outside looking in as far as the title picture goes. This is an easy win for them on paper. At the very least, should be a good match. There will be some shenanigans, obviously, from Phantasmo and Ishimori. Back rakes, nut stomps, possibly a dick punch, but should be a good match nonetheless. So we move on to our next tag match. We have Makabe Hanma and Toa Hanare facing off with Tenzan, Nakanishi, and Yota Tsuji. This is the dads bring your kids to work undercard match and part of Nakanishi's final run as he's retiring this month after 27 years. That was speculated after he took that bow at the Dome, and I think we can all agree that it's time for him to come to an end. He's put in a long career. He's a large gentleman. He's slow. He's beaten up. He's tried. He's worked really hard, but it's time. Obviously, you could go either way with his team winning or his team losing. Ideally, I hope he wants to go out like Liger, and I hope he wants to put somebody over, and obviously it would be great if Henare could pick up a win over him in this match. I will go with Team Henare here with the hope that he picks up that win, which will be important for him because I'm hoping for some, not huge things, but I'm hoping for a bigger year in 2020 for Henare. I think he has worked hard and deserves it. Next up, this is one of those tag matches thought I'd never see. Will Ospreay, Sho, Yo, and Taguchi facing off with Zack Sabre Jr., Desperado, Kanemaru, and Doki. And I actually have the wrong graphic here. It fooled me. Anyway, I thought this was a different match, but here we go. So we're getting into the kind of the business end of the card here. This match is setting up Will Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr. For their title match, as well as Roppongi 3K versus Despy and Kanemaru for their match. So we're building up title matches, a fine undercard match for that. There's good talent in here. The mentioned pairings will be featured throughout. You have Taguchi and Doki in there who can easily take their pins. But I think that the heel Suzuki Gun team will take the win here because I think they're going to want to get a little more heat on Despy and Kanemaru. So we'll see what happens though. But it should be good. Probably a lot of heel shenanigans as always, but what are you going to do? Next up, this one looks like a blast. Hiromu Takahashi and Bushi facing off with Ryu Lee and Robbie Eagles. And this is the big preview for Hiromu versus Lee, which is happening later in the tour for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. It's also interesting because Hiromu and Lee they're lightly aligned through the vast array of Ingobernable stables. So you have to factor that in on the, have to kind of factor that in to see how they play, but they are going to be opponents again. If you remember on the road to the Tokyo Dome shows, Robbie Eagles pinned Hiromu Takahashi. So that's something you need to remember. This should deliver, should be a lot of fun. Bushi's good, especially in tags. Robbie is really good and also has been thriving in tag team matches. Hiromu and Dragon Lee, Ryu Lee, whatever you want to call them, are amazing performers in their own rights. This has like kind of low-level show-stealing potential for me. I think Dragon Lee and Robbie are going to win, and I think that the best play here would be to have Robbie Eagles pin Bushi because then you keep him strong as a viable challenger for Hiromu, considering he already has that pinfall against him. That's what I would do. Again, we are in the business portion of the card. We're building towards more big matches. A rematch from New Year's Dash. Naito and Sonata facing off with Kenta and Jay White. As I mentioned, the rematch from Dash where LIJ picked up the win as Sonata pinned Jay White in the match, but then they got laid out by Bullet Club. This led to Jay White making the challenge, and Kenta obviously officially making his challenge after shitting on Naito's Wrestle Kingdom moment. So we're setting up those singles clashes for later in the tour. The Dash match was good, but obviously they weren't going full speed because they just worked the 2-day Wrestle Kingdom Spectacular. I think this one will be better. They will all have had some time off. They'll be hitting their final build to the big matches, and I think they're going to want to impress here. I'm going to go with Bullet Club getting the win since they lost the first one. And yeah, definitely has a chance to be good to really good. Here is the match I was thinking about earlier, a match you thought you'd never see. Tai Chi and Minoru Suzuki facing off with Big Kaz Okada and Jon Moxley. Now, I mean, this is really interesting because Okada and Moxley looks really fun and interesting on paper. Obviously, a first-time team. Tai Chi and Suzuki have tagged together a lot, obviously, being members of Suzuki Gun. We're building up Okada versus Tai Chi as well as Suzuki and Moxley here. We're probably going to see a lot of Tai Chi versus Okada in the ring, as well as the wild brawling from Mox and Suzuki on the floor. This has potential to be a lot of fun. I think Okada and Moxley will pick up the win, likely via DQ, because I think either Suzuki just totally snaps on him or Taichi busts out the Iron Fingers again. But I don't think they're going to want anybody losing before those bigger matches. I will go with Big Cass and John Moxley here, and I'm calling the DQ. Co-main event of the evening, a big lads match. Evil versus Big Tom Ishii. They faced off last year at the Wrestling Dontaku event. I thought they had an excellent match with Ishii won. But even after that, the interactions continued in the occasional multi-man tags. They were always naturally paired off. And I love a good hard-hitting hoss fight. And at Dash, they kind of rekindled that. And that sets up this match. And I dig it. I feel Evil really steps up when he gets the chances in these bigger matches. He has great chemistry with Ishii. Big Tom is a fucking banger machine. He always delivers. And I'm looking forward to this. They're probably going to get 15 to 20. They're going to kick the shit out of each other. And it's going to be great. There have been a lot of rumors that Evil will be getting more of a singles push and spotlight in 2020. With that being the case, I do think that he's going to pick up the win here, getting revenge for that past loss and kind of kicking off maybe some bigger things for him, because as much as I want Big Tom to win, unfortunately his role is just to have great matches with everybody, and that's pretty much what he's going to do here. So I'm really looking forward to this. Should be a great match. Main event of the evening is another big boys match, another hoss fight. Never openweight champion Hiroki Goto defending against Shingo. Back on day 18 of the G1 Climax 29, Shingo beat Goto. They had a great match. They then had a rematch in the New Destruction in Kobe event where Goto got his win back. Had another great match, slightly below the first one. They renewed the hostilities at Dash where Shingo and Evil defeated Ishii and Goto. They had a great tag match there. Shingo pinned Goto to get his title match here. History tells us that this should be great. But what's the play? Because I'm really torn on here. It's if you have Goto lose the title, again, he has another kind of a shit never run and loses the title quickly, and you're really pigeonholing the guy as a fucking geek. I would love actually for him and Ishii to be more of a full-time tag team because it would ensure more great matches. It would help that depleted tag team division. But I don't want to see him get ripped off. Let the guy have a bit of a title run. But on the other hand, a Shingo win really appeals to me because it gives him his first real singles push and accomplishment. It ensures more singles matches for him, which I am all about, because he always delivers. And while he's a heavyweight, he's also in that middle ground between divisions where he can really open up the Never division for more of to be more of a real openweight division. Guys like Sho can step up. Other juniors can step up, and I just think it would be opening that division up for a bunch of fresh matches or just matches we haven't seen a lot of, and a lot of fun. So a win for him really appeals to me, but I think that they should give Goto the win here and let him run a little bit longer because, like I said, you don't want to pigeonhole him as a total fucking geek, but unfortunately, when it comes to Goto, the G kind of stands for geek, and that's how he's looked at, but they got to turn that around, I feel. And I really think that you have to have Goto go over here. But I'm not going to argue if Shingo wins. So that is night one in Sapporo. The next night in Sapporo, we start off with Hanare and Yotsuji in our prelim. Should be an easy win for Hanare. Probably a pretty good little match. Suji's improved a lot. Looks like a movie villain these days. But yeah, it should be a good match. Hanare, again, this is one of those matches he needs to win. He needs to start establishing himself more as a main roster guy as opposed to a young lion that graduated and 2 years later still living in the dojo or the attic of the frat house, if it were. I hope he does more this year because I like him a lot. I think he's really good. Next up, Makabe Hanma and Uemura versus Tenzan, Nakanishi, and Tiger Mask. Again, part of the Nakanishi retirement tour. The usual undercard dads match. Probably not a lot to this one. The Makabe team has a young lion on it, which makes me feel they are losing. Probably a nice time for Nakanishi to pick up a win here. He can pin Uemura, it's no big deal. I don't mind him winning a little on his retirement tour, but like I said on night one, I think he should lose to Hinari. Another singles match on this card. We don't always get a ton of these, but we have El Phantasmo versus Gabriel Kidd. Gabriel Kidd is a 22-year-old junior from the UK. He's entered into the New Japan Dojo system, so he's a new young lion. And it's time for him to start learning and start eating pins on the main shows. Obviously, Phantasmo is the established star here. He's a great asshole heel. He really is, and will surely be in prime Phantasmo form here. He should easily take this one, and if he does, hopefully he does it by simply just being better here, because I really don't need Phantasmo doing dick punches and a bunch of other cheating in a match with a young lion. This is a match where he's just allowed to be better. Save that shtick for the bigger matches when it actually means something. This will be my first time seeing Kidd, I believe. I've heard a lot of good things about him. Heard some stuff about him from Ian Hamilton. And it'll be good to see what he has in his first major single showing. Six-man trios action, which I believe is going to be for the titles. Goto, Ishii, and Robbie Eagles facing off with the Never Openweight Trios champions Shingo, Evil, and Bushi. This should be fallout from the previous singles matches I mentioned on night one. And I like the match. I mean, I think Robbie Eagles is really great. Ishii is great. Goto can be great. I love LIJ. They always thrive in a good trios match. There's a lot of talent here. There's no reason that this should not be good to very good. And I think that Chaos could pick up the win if this is a non-title match, if it's for the title, because every time I check on it, it seems like it's changing. So if it's a title match, I think that champions retain, but I wouldn't be totally shocked if they change the championships here, especially if, say, Shingo wins the Never Openweight title. I think that'll be a big determining factor, but unfortunately, I don't have time to wait for the results. That's why we're doing the preview. Got to go out on a limb from time to time. But I'm looking forward to this one. And here's one of those matches you thought you wouldn't see. Jon Moxley, Sho-Yo, and Taguchi facing off with Suzuki, Desperado, Kanemaru, and Douki. Again, extra build for the Mox and Suzuki match, as well as 3K versus Despy and Kanemaru. And Jon Moxley gets to interact with Chaos some more, which is just really fascinating to me, because obviously he's been a big loner since he came in. And he's teaming with Okada one night, he's teaming with the other lads another night, and it's just, I wonder how that's going to work out. I kind of don't think it's going to work out well, because I think he's going to go on his own. I think we'll see a lot of Mox Suzuki brawling on the floor. And you got Taguchi and Douki in here, which they can both take pins, but I'm thinking Suzuki Gun might take this one again. I could see Moxley and Suzuki kind of brawling away, and then Suzuki Gun pinning Taguchi. Seems like a good fit. Probably a coin flip overall, but I'll go Suzuki Gun. We keep up with LIJ versus Bullet Club now. And we have Naito, Sonata, and Hiromu versus Kenta, Jay White, and Ishimori. This is, again, lead up to White and Sonata and Kenta versus Naito. Fun little setup tag. It's a week. They have a week to build up to the bigger matches. And this is a good tag to do that. I could see, I think LIJ picks up the win here. I think Ishimori is the guy here to take the pin, unless they get froggy and want to surprise us with Ishimori sneaking out a win over Hiromu to set up a title match later on. Wouldn't completely rule that out, so keep it in mind. It is a possibility. But I'm actually going to go LIJ with Ishimori taking the fall. Business end of the card, co-main event here. Rev Pro British Heavyweight Champion ZSJ Zack Sabre Jr. defending against Will Ospreay. From everything I can gather, and I've tried to do a little bit of research, and I looked on Cage Match, this is going to be their 8th singles match since 2015, all of which have garnered very positive reviews. I am all about this match. It's a fresh one for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Zack Sabre Jr. is a great professional wrestler, and in my opinion, Will Ospreay is coming off of an all-time great 2019 as the standout performer of the year. So I expect definitely a great match here. It'll probably be a pleasant clash of styles, which I love because Zack, for as much as I love Zack, sometimes his matches will feel a little too similar, and Will seems to thrive when he gets pressed into working somebody else's game a little bit more than he's used to. So I think these two are going to really bring out the best of each other. I think Will be pressuring Zack to step up his pacing and intensity, while Zack is going to pressure Will to go to the ground so he can try to dominate in his grappling. One thing people seem to forget, because all I want to hear is, LOL, Will is such a fucking flips guy. Will has some grappling and mat chops. He's obviously not Zack Sabre Jr., but he can do a lot of cool stuff. He does, and they have a history that they can play off of each other. In all honesty, if this isn't great, I'm going to be both surprised and disappointing. Excuse me. I'm going to take a drink. Give me a second. Apologies. So, part of me really wants Will to win this and get some shine with the championship, but at the same time, I'm not really feeling that title changed, although I wouldn't rule it out. If all goes to plan, this is probably the match of the night. Could be one of the best matches of the New Beginning tour. I'm going to go Zack Sabre Jr. to retain, but again, I will not be shocked if they pull a title change. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. The main event of night 2, this is an interesting one. Big Kaz Okada facing off with Tai Chi. If you remember, this started back at New Year's Dash, where Okada, Ospreay, and Robbie Eagles and Yoshihashi, ended up beating the Suzuki Gun team of Suzuki, Lance Archer, Zack Sabre Jr., and Tai Chi via disqualification when Tai Chi busted out the old Izuka Iron Fingers, or Ishka, however you want to pronounce it. He busted out the Iron Fingers, attacking Okada, and that set the stage for this match. We all know Okada is an all-time great, but that doesn't always mean we're guaranteed a great match, especially here. In my opinion, Tai Chi is a tale of two wrestlers. On one side, we have bullshit heel Tai Chi that stalls all the time, uses all the tricks and shenanigans, and kind of looks disinterested like he's not trying. That's his heel shtick. It's bad Tai Chi. I have no time for that Tai Chi. That Tai Chi never has good matches. That Tai Chi needs to stay away. But then there's the other Tai Chi. The Tai Chi that wants to fight. That's looking to prove himself worthy. The Tai Chi that kicks ass and has great matches with Ishii. The Tai Chi lovingly referred to as Dangerous T. Dangerous T is the real fucking Tai Chi. Dangerous T is the Tai Chi worth your time, and Dangerous T is the only Tai Chi I want, and I pray to God that it is Dangerous T that shows up here in this match. Because if we get Dangerous T, this could be great. But beyond the what Tai Chi will we get discussion, I guess now we have to consider who's actually going to win this match. Is it simply a one-match detour for Okada to pick up a rebound win after his Wrestle Kingdom loss and start getting Mac into the title mix? Or is this the start of a shorter-term feud between the two where Tai Chi wins, picks up a little credibility, and Okada has to do something fresh and step away into the undercard for a little bit as he rebuilds himself, finds his confidence before going back after the championship? With the Naito win and the way that they booked Osaka-jo Hall without Okada, Tanahashi, Ibushi, or Ospreay in major singles matches, it feels as if New Japan is looking to mix things up and at the same time take some risk, because that Osaka-jo Hall card is taking a risk without those big names in singles matches. So as out of the box as it may sound, and it's probably not going to be clean, I'm going with Taichi to beat Big Kaz Okada here in the main event. So that's going to wrap up the New Beginning and Sapporo preview. I hope you guys enjoyed what I did here. Trying to mix in a little solo audio from time to time with other stuff. Again, I want to thank Steve Cook for joining me for the bulk of the show. I want to thank everybody as always. You have been listening to the 411 on Wrestling podcast. You can follow us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, the 411mania.com website, any major podcasting platform out there. Please make sure to subscribe to our show, share us around on social media, and if you have time, leave us a 5-star review on the podcasting platform of your choice, and hit subscribe on that YouTube channel, baby. Got to get to the pay window. We need that 1,000 subscribers. I'd love you even more than I already do. Thank you guys as always, and keep on rambling, Ramblers. Love you guys. Have a good week.